All right. Welcome back to the Decibel Peak Academy live stream. This is the film and scoring workshop that I've got started over here. And this is basically going to be the continuation from last week's episode, which was actually the first ever Decibel Peak Academy live stream. And it didn't go too bad. We got, if you didn't watch it, we basically got the first section of this composition that we're making live on the spot done. So this would be like the A section. And this week's episode, which is today, is going to be dedicated to the second part of the track, which is going to be a little bit of a change of pace. So the beginning is kind of more of an atmospheric, ambient build up kind of thing. And the second part is basically going to be more of a, where, the beat's going to come in. It's going to be like, a bit more rock / metal, and it's going to have a bit more of a change of pace. So, what I actually did, in between like last week's live stream, well, not like it was actually 2 weeks ago, but between then and this live stream is not much. I haven't really touched it. I haven't added any parts to it because I want to keep what I'm doing. I want to keep it really for the live stream because I don't want to start doing things outside and then have to explain. I'd rather just use it as an exercise actually and do everything on the spot with you guys. But I will, from time to time, maybe before the live stream, just take a quick look and, just try and figure some stuff out that maybe I was struggling with during the live stream, which I did for this one. I just basically, what we're going to start off with actually is I'm going to add a part to the beginning section. I'm actually going to make you guys listen to it right now. And if this is your first time tuning in, just keep in mind that we're also doing this to an actual cue that I created using stock footage. So I'm going to show you guys what that looks like afterwards. I'm just going to get it ready. But yeah, so we're basically scoring live to a cue, and there are always going to be cues that I create using stock footage that I license. But who knows, maybe in the future I might have something, like a contribution from a videographer or something. Could be interesting. But anyways, this is it right over here. So we're just gonna open that up. I'm gonna leave that over here for whenever we need it. Okay, hold on a second. There we go. Okay, so let's just listen to what this intro sounds like. And I'm gonna explain to you guys this little thing that I'm gonna add. Which, I looked into because I was hearing it. I was just kind of trying to figure out what it is I wanted to do with it, but here it is. So hold on, I did not having a little bit of technical difficulties because I didn't set my outputs correctly. I'm still working on this, guys, I'm new to this whole live stream thing, so I hope that you'll be patient with me, but no worries, I'll get the hang of this like everything else. So here it should work now. There we go. So I'm gonna bring my volume up a little bit. So that's basically what it sounds like. A little bit rough around the edges, but we're gonna work on that. The thing that I hear that I wanted to actually add is I actually hear like with this this first little sound design element / loop thing that added. I don't know if you guys hear it, but it kind of sounds like there's like a violin or strings, in the background with like a delay or something. And I wanted to actually emphasize that and bring that out. And I'm going to create my own violin. Well, it is a violin in my case, but just strings in general. And it just kind of like because I want to I'm not against using loops and samples and stuff, but I mean, like, when you're just using this is fine because it's not super duper signature, and it's going to be a little bit more in the background, but I want to add something to this to make it more mine, like start sculpting it and shaping it. And I was also thinking of having a little bit more of a 16th note subdivision thing, and it is in here. Like, listen to it. It's like dag dag dag. Like, you hear it, like it's very light in the background, and it does kind of sound like strings, like with a delay effect on it. But just really listen to it. It is there. So it's there. So it kind of comes in and out, and it has kind of like that, you know, it adds a little bit more of that pulse. So like for me, like I want to just bring that out a little bit. And this is a great example of like using a loop or a sample to actually, you know, inspire something, to actually like takes, you know, like you can start with a loop or a sample, and you can actually end up branching out into different possibilities. And who knows, maybe we might even remove this completely at the end, but I don't know. I think I like it. I like kind of like the fact that it sounds like a train, but now I want more of like that driving, that you know, that kind of for me, like specifically, like what I already set up the patch. It's right here, and I'm using a tape delay because I like that sound of like, it really has that tape sound where it's like, you know, it's like mechanical, you know, and I guess now will be a good time to show you guys what the footage looks like. Just quick. So for those who were here last week, great. If you're new to this, we're basically making a tire commercial, and you know, like the theme of it is like, you know, Formula One. So, you know, like that train thing, that, you know, that choo choo, you know, like we're rolling, kind of goes with the car, you know, like the horsepower, you know what I mean? Like it's driving while keeping it yet minimal and tense and suspenseful. And remember, so this is where we're starting today. This is going to be like the more intense, like rock. And I found what I was talking about for like there's gonna be like a transition into this new section, but then it's gonna start like right here, and it's gonna be like a sequenced synthesizer. So that's the keyword I was looking for when I was talking about like something like in the style of like F-Zero or something. It's a sequenced synthesizer. So I'm gonna show you guys how my process basically for finding the sound that I was looking for, and I still haven't yet decided, but we're getting closer. So I'm gonna show you guys how to kind of, that's one of the improvements I wanted to make from last week, is just to kind of put a little bit more emphasis on the how you're gonna go about finding the sounds, because that's a really big part, right, of composition and music production nowadays, is just sorting through all the different patches and looking for sounds. Like, so we're gonna focus a little bit more on that process, and you know, that's at least one improvement I've made since last week. So we're gonna get into that, but for now, let's just listen to this patch I got. So, and I also ended up basically kind of analyzing the harmonic sense of this piece a little bit more. So basically, am I already on? Okay, so like, so that's the patch. So I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna do yet, but I definitely, you know. So that's kind of like the harmonic sense I'm getting. So this is like the scale that I'm working. So that's actually, depends how you started, but I mean, it kind of starting to look like A major. There you go. So that's kind of like what I'm hearing, you know, like if we play it over, it kind of does have that A, I don't know if it's like a mode of A major, but like that's the sound, you know, that we're going to be using, at least for this violin part that we're going to be stacking on top. So as you can see, so what I'm going to probably do is I'm going to loop just this part. Three, four. Two. So I've actually got the delay set to a quarter note. So because I don't want to have it like too consistent. I just want to like, because what I like about this is that it comes in and out. So I might actually do some automation in the volume. So I might just like kind of like lay it down like a 16th note thing, and then I might just. So I hear. That, and I was also hearing it harmonize. I think I'm actually gonna go with the harmonized version, which is like because it kind of has more of that suspenseful. It's just in terms of performing it, I'm a little rusty, so I might have to actually program that, but we'll see. Sometimes you gotta use you know, mouse and keyboard, but I'm gonna try not to. So let's just try some stuff. So I hope you guys are kind of understanding what I'm trying to do with this, because I'm still trying to understand. That's the composition process. You gotta just kind of figure some stuff out sometimes. And I don't want to spend too much time on this section, so I'm probably gonna just go with something, and you know, I'll manipulate it with my hands, my mouse, in other words. So let's just see something else. Let's just record that 2, 3, 4. Okay, let me just bring that in. There we go. So align that. So I like how that's just keeping it going. Okay, let's do that. Okay. Oh. Okay. Let's see. Also, the volume, I think, is a little bit too loud. I really want it to be subtle. not horrible. Anyways, I'm glad that we got that set up, because we're gonna actually expand this a little bit more at some point. We're gonna actually make a, let's just call it the name of the articulation, because this is a, pretty sure it's a Marcato short. So let's go call it that for now. Second violins, Mark. Pretty sure that's how it is. Doesn't matter for now. We're gonna just see. I'm working on just, you know, dealing with my OCD, so I'm not worrying too much about the specifics for today. So yeah, that's gonna be that. And you know, color isn't really about OCD. It's just, you know, a good way to stay organized. So we're gonna get into that. So we're gonna just leave that there, and we're gonna start moving on to the next section. So yeah, we're gonna probably come back to this towards the end if we got some time. Otherwise, because I really want to finish this, you know, each live stream, just in case you guys are new to this, is gonna be 2 hours long. So the goal in those 2 hours would be to actually finish the entire piece. Sometimes I might split it up into 2 different parts, like for this, because these tracks are a little bit more time consuming when you get into you know, more sound design stuff, a little bit more of the ambient minimalist stuff, because it's actually harder to like remove things, you know, to find out what the essential elements are going to be. And it's harder actually to make minimalist music, to make it sound good. So takes a lot more thought and consideration. So basically, like, we're gonna try and finish this in 4 hours total, this one. But normally it's either gonna be 2 hours, or, and the exercise with this is just to like try and get, you know, get something out there, you know, because it doesn't matter, right? Like, if you have something that's more or less decent that you can work with after 2 hours, then that's fantastic. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect. It has to be like at least a good, decent demo, and then afterwards you can go and, you know, spend the rest of your day working on it, and it'll be finished by the end of the day. So that's what the exercise is here. So I really do want to get this done today, so I'm going to stop talking so much and start working on it. So one thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to create another transition. So like when I was talking about last time, you got this, it's our break for 1, 2, 3, and then something like that brings us here into the next section. So I'm not going to worry about that now, because that could actually maybe be a little bit more fun to do afterwards. So I'm just going to give myself some space, and we're going to start working on this new section. So as if it wasn't connected, as if it's just like a separate thing. So that being said, what it depends on what instruments you're working with. And you see, I like working with instruments that are kind of like comprehensive. So, you know, like in terms of like, what I mean is having instruments that have a lot of different sounds and an easy way to search for sounds. And because it's a hell of a lot easier to work this way than to have like a bunch of different single instruments. It's better to have like libraries or that kind of stuff, because there are just so many possibilities, right? And you need an efficient way of searching for stuff. So we got Arturia V collection for this one, because I do want to put a synth for that, you know, sequence I was talking about. And what's cool about Arturia V collection is it has this analog lab instrument, which actually combines all of the instruments in Arturia V collection into one instrument, so you can actually just, you know, search all, instead of you know, testing each different one out to see if it has the sound you're looking for. You can actually bulk, you know, that search to every single instrument in the Arturia V collection. So that's pretty it's pretty damn useful. So that's what I'm doing basically. And you have this really nice handy search tab, and I just put in sequence, and already like I started like harding some because those are the ones I was thinking of using. But anyways, so this is basically gonna be from a bunch of different instruments. So that being said, I want to actually see if we have some sort of a, I don't think we have much of a harmonic framework set up. So we did say it's going to be kind of like A. That seems to be like the general tonal, you know, tonality of it is an A major. So I might just use A as my root. It doesn't really matter, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like that. It sounds a little bit too, if we're gonna use the Nintendo terminology, Metroid Prime-esque. I'm looking for something more like F-Zero, you know? I don't want to get too, I want it to be like electronic, but since we're gonna have like the rock element to it, I want it to be a little bit more organic. So if it's gonna be like a synth, it has to sound more like a... I kind of like this one. I hear this one, so this one, remember for me guys, just remind me if I forget, but I should be good. They sound similar. I'm in similar vibe, so it's too low. Kind of like this one, has like a little bit more. Horrible, that one. I don't know why I put a heart next to it. Nah, too busy. Honestly, like I could keep going forever, but I think we're gonna go back to that first one. Some of these I hearted for different reasons. Yeah, this one too was good. It's more of an eighth note vibe, this one, which is good. But I was going because it's gonna almost be like a slow down. From you know, you gotta be take like the whole big picture of the track into consideration. That might actually like not give, like from the previous section to the new section, it might actually not give us what we're looking for. So gotta keep that stuff in mind. See, it's like 16 notes. So I think I'm gonna go with this. I like this. So, you know, just to kind of, sometimes you gotta just kind of reference stuff, you know. Not saying to like that these are gonna be one on top of each other, but just to see if what's gonna, there's some sort of a connection, right, between the two sounds. Might actually not work. It's the accents that are throwing me off. I think it's just 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I don't like the pattern. It's just, it's too I want something more like not syncopated, you know? So yeah. So was a little too mean. That one could work. It's the syncopated stuff that really doesn't fly with me. It sounds so 8-bit, it could actually not be so bad. Whoa. I think we're gonna go with that. See, what I'm looking for is like when I do that and I try to stack, because like they're not going to be necessarily happening at the same time. I mean, maybe towards the end in the final section I might combine these two together, we'll see. But when you want to see like if an instrument or a patch or whatever is going to work in the next section, because there has to be some sort of continuity, you know, you just kind of stack it on top. And the sound is one thing, like the timbres is one thing to keep in mind, but it's also just the rhythm, because when you're going to be transitioning from one section to another, it depends how much of a difference you want. But see, now I'm calculating, I'm just listening and I'm seeing that. At the very least, it kind of works with a little bit of harmonic / rhythmic framework that we set in place in this minimalist kind of intro. So it doesn't sound too far off, you know? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's the octave that's wrong. Because like if this was A major, we could also make it sound more minor by, instead of targeting A, we can target like F sharp. So make it the relative minor. So but any note in the A, like basically what I'm trying to determine now is which root I'm going to keep, you know, for this. I kind of like A. Might as well just stick with A. I think I like A. So let's just go for it. 2, 3, 4. Who knows? Maybe none of this is gonna work out. It's always a risk you take, you know, when you're doing creative stuff. Everything is a risk. Okay, anyways, let's just, you know. So be more specific. It's gonna be like a 2-bar break, and then there, and then we're gonna have another thing that's gonna bring us into this. And actually, I'm gonna check it out with the video. So we're gonna just do that, and we're gonna see what it looks like with the video. Am I not doing something right? Okay, let's see. I think I ended up closing it, then let's open it up again. Okay, so I'm always gonna give myself a little bit, so hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lines up pretty well, eh? So I remember I was gonna fix something like that in the video too. So yeah, it doesn't line up there like with the images perfectly, because like I said, I might, when I end up revising, because like, you know, as the editor, you know, I might end up revising this video, right? It should cut off like right over here. Like this part is not super essential. Because I want it to be like, you know, I could optionally like extend the break, but basically the part, I want to give myself a little countdown. So I'm going to show you guys what I mean. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. Fuck, close it again. Doesn't matter. I don't know why it sounds different each time I play it. And maybe having that like fade in. Okay, I might actually go start designing the part, the like little fade in part, the transition. We'll see how that fits in. Okay, so let's look for another another riser. Basically, that's what we need as a riser. So instrument over here, and yeah, we're right in here. It's the one I had. I actually really like these ones. That's a really good, if you guys don't know what I'm using, by the way, this is Arcade by Output. This is a great sampler. I like that one, the one on G, and even the one on D. Let's record the one on D. Doesn't really matter. Well, kind of does, but anyways. Just... So yeah, these the length of it is this. So I'm just gonna do this, and I'm gonna bounce it in place. That's just the way I roll for this kind of stuff. And that's another reason why, because it gets really annoying. So, okay, delete that, like that. And we're gonna see what that sounds like. Might actually put that like that. Yeah, because basically end up fading that one in a little bit. It's not perfect, but at least it gives me a general idea of what it is that I'm going for. That's important. Like it doesn't have to be perfect, right? Like sometimes just do something, you know. Sometimes just getting, you know, to get yourself out of a rut, just put something there, you know. Okay, so like I was saying also last week, I'm gonna just make sure to save that. Drums. We're gonna start. So basically now, like I already know pretty much like what I want to go for this section. It's gonna be kind of like a build up, and it's gonna go into like a kind of like rock. So we're gonna just have like a little bit of a basically like this was a build, and then we're gonna go basically back down again, and we're gonna have like a little bit more of a build, and you know, it's just for the purposes of like this clip basically. So we're not really going to get too much into like basically when this ends. If you remember what I was saying last week, is that we'll start from this section. So this is where the second riser is going to come. So that, and then boom, the sequence would start over here. And then maybe like, you know, hear the beat, you know, the kick drum, maybe like we get a little like pulse going. Some guitar and stuff, electric guitar, some bass. So I might actually end up plugging some of that stuff in today and performing live for you guys. Then boom, then this is where like the beat drops, and then that's where like the climax would hit essentially. So we might either have to like basically how I might work is I might just like start stacking things into like a 4 or 8 bar loop just to kind of like build to that point. Like I'm going to build basically the part that comes over here, and I'm going to just basically decompose it and start building it up. So that's one approach we can do, is just like that's how I usually word, is I just stack things up to the point where like, you know, they can't be stacked anymore, just to kind of get like the essence of the climatic part of that section. And then after that you just arrange, so you just start breaking stuff apart so like it builds up to that point. It's always easier to work from like top to bottom than it is from bottom to top, but sometimes I might go the other way around. So anyways, let's just get into it, you know, stop talking about it and just actually do it. So yeah, I think I will do that. Let's see what we can do with the drums. Might end up just hold on, what am I hearing? Maybe not even like, definitely hearing some crash. Like maybe like I think it's still too. Yeah, I think I'm just not liking, like I might end up switching some stuff out at some point. That's why it's a good idea to just get some stuff on paper first, just to kind of like, you know, even if it's just symbolic, like I know I want a sequence thing, I know I want some risers here, like, you know, like we can always, you know, fine tweak it after and look for some nice stuff. But I mean, you know, for the time being, this might actually throw me off in the long run. So what I don't like about this sequence. It's just it's a little bit. It's funny because it is called crazy sequence. Pretty sure, yeah, and it is a little bit too crazy. It just it's not the same every time, and yeah, I might actually want to go with something different. I think that's a little bit better because it is like a bassy thing that I want. Almost sounds like we're doing like a synth wave kind of a track, which wouldn't be a horrible idea, you know. I kind of like these a little bit better. But I like the ones that are just more steady. It's a little bit too yeah, maybe that's a little bit better. Let's give that a shot. Definitely want to have like an impact for maybe like actually what I end up doing. No, this is 4. This is weird. It's just the way it looks like, but it's like 1, 2. It's weird. It's like not aligned. Come on. It's the way the. Sometimes it bugs me. It's just it's not aligned properly, so we actually can't use this because it's. Yeah, it would have been nice if it would have been like, which we can do, but yeah, getting into that right now, essentially like oh boy, basically like changing like, you know, the sequence and modifying it, like it's gonna take some time, too much time to dive into that. So that's why I'd rather just have something that's ready out of the box. Could go with that for now. Something like that, 3, 4. maybe more like. Let's try starting with just the crash. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it's like da 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 da. Da 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 da. So that didn't really matter. Let's remove that. Let's record something better. 2, 3, 4. Better. Let's get the snare involved. That's actually high. That's what I would put there. Okay, now we're gonna do low. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, maybe we'll go 1, 2, 3 instead. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. I kind of like that better on 3. It's actually not. It's just it depends how you count it. Like it could be the snare is like on every 3, beat number 3, which is typical for rock and metal. But that's actually because the BPM right now is 107. If it was double that, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, or sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? But if we're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, and so it depends how you're counting it, really. But that's like the whole half time, double time thing. The truth is, it doesn't really matter. But like typically, it tends to sound like the snares on 3, on B3 with rock and metal because of that. So let's just say that that's what we're doing now. Remove the metronome. Okay, so now we need to get a kick drum in there. So I hope you guys see like what I'm doing essentially. Like it's possible to perform the entire part like with just your 2 hands and the keyboard, but when you're trying to come up with something on the spot, like sometimes it's better to just tackle one drum at a time. So you might want to start with your cymbal just to set your click. So that's what I'm using the crash for. Then for a fact that your snare is basically going to be on every beat 3, even if there might be some little variations here and there. And we're also going to need a kick drum. So the kick drum is actually where the creativity comes in. So that's what we're going to figure out now. Let's just go with that. 3, 4. Simpler the better. And you see, I'm trying not to be too picky because I just want to get something done, right? Because we do have a time limit, so it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be something for now. Alternatively, I could have also used a hi-hat, like a kind of open hi-hat. Now, it's important to always reference back to the beginning, make sure we're on the right track. It is definitely rough around the edges, but I think I'm definitely heading in the right direction. That's too soon, right? Because like I said, we're just building it up here. And who knows, like I said, we might completely go in the wrong direction. But what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to set up my my guitar. So I'm going to plug it in. I'm going to have basically a different setup than I normally would. I'll show you guys in console. So I'm just going to pull that up over here, because I've already got one of the inputs for my microphone and my voice and C-Suite CVox, all that good stuff. So I'm just basically going to plug in through input number 1, going to load it in an amp, and we'll see what we could come up with the guitar. So give me a second to set that up. And in these moments, this is the perfect time. If you guys have any questions, you want to recommend, you know, like just, you know, get my attention in the chat, like now's the best time. So we're taking like a mini break while I set this up, and then we're going to get back to work. Where is my cable? Okay. All right, so we're pretty much ready. I'm just gonna make sure that I'm tuned up. And for this, I might stay in E standard tuning. I think I'm in drop D now. Or maybe in drop C. Maybe drop C. No, drop C is gonna be, it's not the good key. I think going to I don't want it to be too heavy, you know, drop tunings, like it's too heavy. I want to go heavy, but I want to go more like a rock type of thing. Rock, like, you know, like a car commercial rock. I'm not even sure sometimes. Like, it's just I know what I'm doing. It's just hard to explain, but we're gonna get there, guys. You'll see. And if we don't, we don't. But at least we learned something along the way. So just gonna bring that stuff up on the screen here so you guys can see. So got ENGL Savage 120. Might play around with a preset there. Now I'm just gonna tune. We're just gonna tune up right very quickly. Best part, right? So like I said, like this is the perfect time to chat me up as we tune up, as we set up, and that's when I can answer your questions. Although, you know, these live streams are still relatively new. don't have much people watching, especially early in the morning. So yeah, like last week we did it in the evening, and this week I'm doing it in the morning. I'm still experimenting with different times, see what's best, but I'm thinking the mornings might be better, you know, depending on your time zone, obviously. But I think it's just better in the mornings if you are in the same time zone as me, because we're just getting our day started, like waking up early. So if you guys want an excuse to wake up early, you can wake up early to watch this live stream. And to what I always encourage to do is to open up your DAW and work with me. So you could have this up on the side, and every time you want to take a break, see what I'm up to, ask any questions. Maybe you're blocked on your track and you want some inspiration, some advice, and that's what I'm here for, to just provide that for you guys. So it's more of the gesture of doing this live stream. I think that's going to be important. There's going to be some good stuff, some golden nuggets here and there, but overall I think it's just to encourage you guys to, even if it's for the first time in the week or the only time in the week, to just go out there and make a track, to do it, dedicate those 2 hours to doing that. So at the very least, at least once per week, you're guaranteed to get 2 hours if you do this with me. So it's better than nothing, right? If you have a day job, if you have like other obligations, this might be the only time you have to get some music done. Whether it's for a hobby or if it's professional, whatever it is, you're always welcome on my live stream. And yeah, sometimes you guys are gonna have to bear with me. This is the parts where you can either ask me some questions or mute this and just go back to doing your thing. But I'm doing this mostly as an exercise for me too. I just want to, it's always like a test, right? And I encourage you guys to do something similar just to see what you can do on the spot live. This is where you really find out where your weaknesses are, and you hopefully pick up on them, watch yourself back, and you work on them for the next one. So for me, this is just a test, and I'm like I said last week, I'm just opening the doors up to my studio so you guys can hang out with me. And this is what, like I said, like this is what I would be doing anyways, so might as well just broadcast it. And it adds a little bit more danger to it, a little bit more spontaneity and accountability. That's important. It's important stuff, guys. All right, so we're pretty much good for now. All right, let's turn this bad boy off, get rid of it. I'm gonna enable it. Okay, so now presets. I want to go crunchy riffs. How about that? We are in A, so one thing. Okay, hold on, that's fine. But I kind of like that one. Turn off the noise gate, something you always want to do. And just in case you guys are wondering, yes, well, I might just keep it on for the sake of this, but I'm not going to record with it. So remind me to take it off, guys. So yeah, in case you guys are wondering, Schecter Blackjack ATX Solo 6 got 2 active Seymour Duncan blackouts. Not a huge fan of active pickups, but these ones are not too bad. Okay, so we're just gonna try and come up with something on the spot here. Maybe it's... we could go maybe to A minor for this one. So we're in A major and we go to A minor. Maybe it would have been better in drop E. Also, E is the dominant, it's the 5, so maybe we can... One of the things I wanted to avoid is getting into that Phrygian vibe. I'm not, you know, like the... But, yeah, and, you know, indirectly in the key of... Because I'm targeting E there, basically, so... So we got A, like, the sequence is like, you know, it's pedaling on an A, and then we got your E, so that's kind of like the 5 chord, so it adds more tension, you know? And we are kind of like in a minor key now. So I think a good idea too, especially when you're like once again coming up with things on the fly, is just to keep each part simple and focus more on layering things. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create actually my, and you know, normally I get a little bit more complex, like, you know, like I'll basically combine these and I'll have one for the DI track, but for now, since I don't even have a DI track available, I'm just gonna record straight into it. So basically what I'm trying to do is come up with an 8-bar pattern, so I just want like a variation. So I'm gonna just go for another run and see what I come up with. Give that a shot. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know why it's so loud for some reason. You guys are hearing it too, eh? Okay. My bad. Let's try it like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm trying to do is actually like that Alexis on Fire thing there, like from the album Crisis, or maybe the songs Crisis, like bounding down, 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 but like that thing they do with the minor second. I'm trying to remember what it is. It's because it's in a different key for them. That's there you go, something like that. So it's like let's give that a shot. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know why it does that actually. It's like monitoring, or maybe you guys are hearing that. I'm gonna have to like tweak some stuff after, but you know, we live, we learn. All right, 2, 3, 4. Obviously we're just, you know, we're just trying, experimenting. There's gonna be if I'm gonna do something like that, it's gonna be like some nice reverb on it. And remember guys, just like no mixing plugins active, like everything just sounds really dry and, you know, rough edges and stuff. That's no problem. We're gonna work on all of this if hopefully we have some time. We're into this, so I think we're gonna get there. It's gonna like that's why I want to get like the parts down, and then we're gonna arrange. I'd rather get more stuff down than we need, so like that we can have some stuff to play with. And also there's gonna be the bass guitar track, which is gonna follow the guitar, so it's not gonna be that. But that's what I might do. Just one guitar track, one bass guitar. You got the drums, the sequence thing. It might not turn out super nice this track, but it's gonna work for whatever it is. But we live, we learn. We're trying to get as close as possible, and that's the difficult part about this. If I was just making a track and I could just pick and it didn't really matter. We weren't doing it for a specific thing. I could just do anything I want basically, and it will be much easier. Now I have to be a lot more selective and have to really think and question everything I do, and it's incredibly difficult. Like, for those of you who don't do this, I definitely recommend trying this out. It's like target practice, and target practice is a lot more difficult than you think. So anyways, enough jibber jabber. I think I'm gonna re-record this part. Something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. For now, I think I'm gonna say it's all right. I don't want to add too much. I'd rather just focus on the bass part, and like I said, it's gonna be more of a build up. So what I'm gonna do quick, I'm gonna go back in console, and this is something I recommend doing. Not for this time, since it doesn't really matter. Because anyways, like, we got this thing going on. Normally, I would just save the preset. So I would put it under a folder of the name of this track, and I would say, like, make a preset, save this session, just so like, this is like the guitar part, and you can keep working on it and changing the sound of the amp and stuff as you develop this track more. So I'm not gonna do it now, like I said, but it's recommended, especially when you got lots of projects and you don't want to lose your presets and your sound. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to unplug this guitar and plug the bass in real quick and see what I could come up with. Whoa. All right. There we go. Gonna get an Ampeg though for this. So yeah, I hope you guys realize that I'm not really trying to perfect anything. I'm just getting some ideas down on paper. This is still like sketching. And I think that's as far as we'll get, you know. Like I might actually, you know, after this live stream, you know, depending on what I have, I'm going to just rework this track and actually finish it and show you guys what a final product sounds like at some point. But the thing is, and I mean, I hope you guys know I'm capable of much more. Like if you've listened to the tracks I've actually completed, like if you go on my music catalog, you know, like it doesn't sound so great now, but like you see, like when you work and you refine it more and more, you'll see that it'll sound great. But on the spot, sometimes you just want to get like a guitar part down, and you know, when you're composing, you're essentially like gonna be making, you know, 90% of the time you're gonna be doing the wrong thing, only to find out that 10% of the time you actually get it right. And that's the exploration part, and that's why composition's a lot more difficult, because there is still like an improvisational aspect to it, but you gotta really just you know, you gotta just do it, and you get your hands dirty and play some bad stuff that sounds bad, because you gotta find out what sounds bad, you know, to find out what sounds good. So, but you'll see what I'm talking about. All right, so we're already tuned, we'll say, for this guy. So this, I think I just want to have like an E, you know, some sort of a pulse. It's still a little bit too round, so that's when we go into, you know, the presets, and we're gonna pick maybe something a little bit more. First, I want to see my EQ. Yeah, I'm flat, so. A little bit too. It's too boomy a little bit. Also, I think that's my trip. That's my bass. Might cut out some of my bass like I did right there. Something a little bit more. Rock bass picked. A bit better. Yeah. A little bit more mids. I like that, the mids. That one's good. Let's go with that. Okay. I basically have two options. I could just palm mute it like that, or I think I'm gonna palm mute it. Okay, let's lay it down. Command D. It's a shortcut if you want to duplicate a track. Okay, let's record it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Might just go for another take of that. Click it. Okay, let's record it again. Delete it. Go. 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm starting to see the connection. It's not horrible. I mean, that's the thing. Like, it's just like this only gets better with time, and especially when you have time constraints like this. So I'm gonna leave the bass plugged in. I'm just gonna take it off. Give me 1 second. Okay. I'm gonna pass this underneath. So basically, like, what the way it sounds like in my mind when we do these kinds of tracks, especially like where there's a story, like where there's definitely like it's starting at one place and then we end up at this like not completely different place but a different place, right? It's like a gradient, you know, when you have colors and you have like kind of like you're trying to blend two colors together and you have like kind of a trajectory. That's basically what these kinds of tracks are. They're like gradients. So like we're kind of like going from like this really soft, mellow, minimalist kind of tension suspense thing, and then we're going into like this heavy part, right? With you know, where it gets a little heavier, and obviously I just said that, but yeah, so that's basically it. So I might actually well, we'll do that later. So we got to do the build up now. So we got my parts basically. So I'm just going to lay some stuff out, you know. So I'm going to go back to my video and I just want to see kind of like, we just want to see more or less what it is that we're getting at. Let's start from the beginning. Sometimes you do that. You just start from the beginning. Just to get like a, you know, you have to refresh yourself, because if you focus too much on one section, the problem is you might actually be going into a tangent and then you just realize, okay, I completely missed the mark. So you got to balance it. You got to sometimes just refresh your ears and go back to the beginning, and you have to train yourself to like zoom in with your ears and to zoom out. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to zoom out. So I'm going to give us like a pre 4 beats, 3, 4, 1. Because I want to see how long this new, how I'm going to arrange this new section, how long each step is going to be. So those strings I like, we're going to do something with those, even if we don't get it done today. That's where it should cut, obviously. Right? Okay. Keep going, I guess, to... That's where the beat would... That's where it would come in. So that, to me, it seems like... Like we had basically like the first 4 is like, you know, like they're showing like the track, you know, and then like here's where it would get basically to like the pit crew, they're changing the tires. And then I would say like the big, so these are 8-bar sections if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, they're actually 4. Okay, so I get the feeling that anyways, forgetting that the video is the video, like I would assume that it'd be something like this. This is how I would build it. This is where it would come in. This is like your build up. So you got 8 bars of build, and then we got like your 16 bars of like stuff coming in. So maybe we could have like the bass come in over here, and then we have like the drums, something like I might just have like a you know, on each beat, you know, like a little build up, and then have like a little like, you know, ragadagada boom, you know, and we come in and we hit it, we have a fill. That's what this fills thing is for, so we might end up using that. But let's just give it a listen right now. So what I'll actually do is I'll give myself, I just want to measure things out. So give myself two bars. Perfect. I'm seeing it. You guys are not. 2, 4. Not yet. See. So actually what we're gonna have to do is so I'm just thinking now, like definitely have this comes in too soon. So I would say almost like this is just like a little intro, kind of like how we have like a little intro here, and then you have like these 8. So we're gonna have like this, then we're gonna have like these 8. So assuming like something like that. 4, and then you have like these 8, and then the drums like really comes in there. Might do that. Okay, so like the only thing I want, like, so basically this is like gonna be like our little pickup. It's like a little like beginning, and then like it starts building up here, and then we have here our section. So our section actually gonna be over here, and it's gonna be like 16. Okay, so we have our 16 bar section here, which is going to be longer than what we actually need for this cue, but that's fine because, you know, we're going to do the track anyways the way that it's supposed to be. And then you have this little 4 bar like kind of intro to this new section, right? Kind of like how you have 4 bar intro to this section, but this section is just an 8 bar section. And then we have like the 2 bars in the middle, right? So that's just like a little overview of like the structure of this piece. So like this is just like I'm just kind of like vocalizing what I'm hearing in my mind, because you see like there's a certain logic to it and a certain like consideration to be, you know, kept in mind for like the actual cue that you're working with. Like even if they're gonna end up fixing the cue, like which well I will end up doing, as if that was just like a quick demo just to get an idea of it. You want to kind of like preserve like this structure that we're doing here reflects at the very least the story of the clip. So that's basically it. Like you want it to have the same structure as the story at the very least, and like I said, trying to align yourself as much as possible. So now if we go back, and I'm actually gonna once again play it with it, so giving myself missed it. Fuck. There you go. Obviously a much bigger build up there. Or maybe what we can do in this case, since we already have like the 2 bar break over here, we can actually kind of finish it off so it becomes like almost like a completes, like it balances itself out, and we do this like that. So we're trying our best, you know, to a lot, like it's never gonna be perfect, you know, but like you can do little moves like that, like with like removing bars and stuff, and you see like how logically, yes, it works out. So we give a 2-bar break, but then we also have like 2 bars to make up for it, and then we start the 16 bar section. So let's see what that works, if that works out. Feels like I'm juggling. I really am, hey guys. That's the whole point of this series. It's just to watch me juggling with a bunch of different things and see how I how I perform. All right, so let's just 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so obviously like that's basically like you know, A and B, but now we gotta kind of craft our way from A to B. So now we're gonna have to basically build this up. So this is fine on its own. This is where we're gonna start adding some drums, maybe some you know, just kind of like building it up. And we want to get to this part over here. So anyways, this I might just copy that like that just for now. Or maybe this, I don't know, whatever. We'll figure it out later. Yeah. Save it. So how are we doing on time? We got about half an hour. So I think we have enough time actually to kind of craft our way up this build up. And then we're pretty much going to be there. I mean, like there's obviously going to be still lots of rough edges. And gosh, man, I might just have to make a part 3 or make a video just showing you guys, like, you know, like in regards to mixing and mastering, like how you're going to take this and like make it sound like professional, and how I'm going to go and, you know, maybe re-record some parts, and or maybe do that beforehand and then just show you guys the results, what I did. But you know, for now, let's just focus on this build up. I have the tendency to get ahead of myself, so maybe we can actually finish it, but it will be basically a draft by the end of this this episode. It will still be in draft mode, which is, but like I said, if after 4 hours we have like pretty much an entire construction, we have the entire piece, and we just have to you know, make modifications and work, you know, spend a couple more hours with it just to fine tweak it, man, that's perfect. You know, like don't be ashamed. Like if this entire thing takes like a total of 8 hours, that's a day's work. And you know, like this is worth it, because this is like not just it's not just a rock or a pop tune. Like this is like a really like, you know, cinematic, you know, like thing that can be very useful for a lot of different situations, even if this one's a little weird. But you know, they're all kind of weird when they from me, you know, when I make them, they're all kind of weird. So I'm just a weird guy. So let's start thinking about what we can do to build this up. Maybe the click, getting rid of the click would help. Sometimes I feel like this thing's not even synchronized. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Might have to change sequence again. It's because it's weird. It's like going over the bar line. It's not, but it gives that feeling, you know. So I don't know. Maybe we should actually look into that. Hold on, let's look at it. Let's call this Analog Lab 4 for now. Okay, the violins, they're good. I'm such a procrastinator. Like I see I do it unconsciously, but like this is basically, and it's okay to procrastinate sometimes, but you know, as long as you're doing something like putting a nice icon, like it's fine. Okay, so yeah. So we're gonna remember that it's that one, just in case. Hold on. Actually, this can't undo it like that. I don't know. See, like that's the thing. Like sometimes when you, that's why I'm saying like you gotta base yourself off the right thing. Otherwise, well, I don't know. It's fine for now. I'm overthinking it. Something like that. Probably gonna be some automation going on here, and I might actually, at this part, we get rid of it, right? I honestly don't like the sound of the drums, so that's one thing I'm gonna change right now. I don't even remember what I ended up going with, so I like these because they got some more. Yeah. Better. Okay, much better. Maybe like I don't know. Maybe we can get the bass involved. Like the engine, you know? That's like the engine, you know? Something like that. Like, give it a little break. on the fills side, like that. Let's go for it. And if you do that, enable that, basically every time you record, it'll override it. So if you want to just work out a part, and you know, this is a good technique. It's like, it's just basically, it's like taka 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 taka, you know, nothing too complicated. And I'm actually gonna just manually go, you know. Like that. One, disable that, and we go 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 2. Okay, like that. So with the bass, I might go like digga 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 boo, like a slide. Oh, boom. You know, these like transitional things, like they're important. Like that's kind of like the icing on top of the cake. But it's in my mind. I'm thinking about it. I'm just not doing it yet. But it's, you know, sometimes it's better to just like keep going, and then you keep it on the back of your mind and let it simmer in there. And then once you pick up the instrument, you just know exactly what you're doing, instead of like picking up the instrument and noodling around with it. It's better, you know, to just get like, you know, stuff in your mind. But I mean, let's put things into perspective, guys. I mean, at the beginning of this live stream, we had like just this, and now we have like all of this. So it's not like nothing's happened. It's just, it takes time. But as long as you keep moving forward and you see the pressure of the live stream, it does push me to go a little bit more forward than usual. But it's like, as long as you keep going forward, as long as you keep doing things, and even if it turns out that it's not like the right thing, like just take a risk. Just take a risk. We're taking a risk now, because this might not be so good at the end of the day, but you know, it's not so bad. It's just we gotta find a way to make this work. Everything works. Like everything, I'm telling you, all the experiences I've had, like each track is its own lesson. But once you crack the code, like you'll realize, oh, okay, well, it was there all along. So there's a way to make this happen. We just gotta find it. I gotta find it anyways. You guys want to help me out? That's what the chat is for. So that, I like that, because that's like the engine, you know, the engine starting. So we're gonna have to reference the cue to see if that comes at the right spot. Maybe like this, but like just the second half, you know? I don't know, I have to see. I don't like that so much. Maybe a little, if something could get faded in. Also, I hope you guys realize that the time is not that great. Like sometimes I think it has a little bit, the latency is a little bit different because of the live stream. There's a little bit more of it, but yeah, I gotta check my time. And sometimes when you're stacking, you know, things that are out of, you know, it's a mess. Like, maybe you guys aren't as picky as I am, but like I'm just flipping out in my mind right now. Like, I'm gonna have to re-record all of this, which is fine. That's the plan. Like, I wasn't planning. I wasn't like, you know, like this is just to get something on paper. Like I said, like everything can be redone, and everything should at some point be, you know, carefully considered. And if you're doing meaty, you know, you should like edit it properly and stuff. But um, let's reference with the video to see what we got. We don't have much time. We actually got about 15 minutes left, so let's make them count. Let's watch from the beginning. So let's give us like two measure, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. I think I got the violin part. I'm gonna definitely need to do something with it though. Okay, this is where it should cut. Anyways, like here. Comes too soon. But here. Then we have like the fade out. This should not come there. Let's see if it sounds good. The structure's getting there. If we're gonna have the guitar there, it's just gonna have to be like a fade in. It has to be automated. That's better. Low. Maybe like a riser, you know, and then after it goes like boom, then I go way out, and then we come in, you know, like with another riser, like using arcade, you know, that kind of stuff. So, you know, like obviously we have not even started dressing this up. This is like the skeleton still. I mean, there is a little bit of dressing up going on because these are more like structural things, but I mean, in reality, there's like actually still so much to do, but it could probably be done in another 2 or 4 hours. So it's like, I'm gonna decide. It's gonna be a mystery whether next week's live stream is gonna be part 3 or it's gonna be a new thing. So we'll see. If I get to it before next week, then I might just show you guys what it sounds like, the finished product, and I might do a little quick overview or something like that. But for now, maybe a part 3. We'll see. Maybe that's just can be done in 2 hours, or maybe I'm just not good enough yet. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not quick enough. Maybe I talk too much. Could be a lot of things. So definitely appreciate your guys' feedback, you know, in the comments, in the chat, you know, like you know, I want to cater this experience to you. So obviously it's gonna get better and better with time. You know, and I will get better and better with time, so that's gonna be interesting for all of us to see. But for now, you know, we've all got things to work on, myself included. So I'm gonna start it again from here. Give myself a little bit of a countdown. That's where the banner would show up and stuff, and you know, where we would fade out. Like that's what I was talking about. Like it gets to the climax and then it stays there for like only a minute, like when it hits like to the end, and then it quickly starts fading out. So that's pretty you know, conventional, stereotypical stuff. But you see, like now we're just making like notes of certain things. So now like we based ourselves like there are certain markers, right? So like this is fine from here. So it's fine. Personally, I think this just comes in too quickly. Like for me, like in a musical sense, like not even basing myself, like and I'm trying to think, is there a way that we can, because I would have liked this to be 4 bars actually, so. Because look at what it would sound like if we did have the 4 bars. I think it would sound a little bit more symmetric. Like it would just sound a little bit better. So let's see what that does. Maybe we have no choice, you know? Tell the video editor to deal with it. I kind of like that a little bit better, you know? And again, it's because it's a quick build up, you know? It's very quick, relatively speaking, so. Maybe we just leave that. Even thinking like that lead guitar thing, I mean, might go more like, instead of like, this is like da da da, like that's what I'm doing, like it's like quarter notes, but like I'm, you know, I'm thinking doing more like maybe a little bit more syncopated, like down da down down da down down da ga down da down, like more of a more motion. But anyways, these are little details. But right now, I'm a little, I'm still wondering like this build up, you know, like if it's gonna be like adding an instrument or just adding some. Yeah, like right there, like that's like, see like little things like that, boom, like with the drums, like. Something like that. You know, that's some you know, that's the kind of shit that bothers me, honestly, guys. Pardon my French there. You know, there you go. It'll help. Where are we? Let's just start with that. 2, 3, 4. There's something wrong with the time. I don't know if you guys hear it. It's like, must be the anyways, like this is the kind of shit this technical difficulty stuff I can't, I don't know what it is. Be completely honest with you guys, I have no idea.